Welcome in to episode 124 of JD's Empire Sports Talk. I'm joined along with Corey Ayub tonight. Obviously, we know Corey. Corey's becoming more and more a part of our show as the weeks and months go by. He was on the other night, obviously a very eventful night. We're going to keep it at that. But Corey was at the draft show. That was his big moment with us. Finally, we got him to become more part of the show, which is great. But Corey, overall, before actually, you know what? I have to say hi to TikTok too. My apologies, guys. I always forget about you because you're off to the side. But yeah, Corey's also with me on TikTok. You can't see his face. He's having some camera problems, but that is his profile picture. And if you do want to see him, join us on YouTube. Link in the bio, in the comments. It's everywhere. But Corey, how we doing? Happy you were able to, not really, not short notice, but kind of. I was just like, there's no basketball Wednesday. There's nothing really on Wednesday. We might as well do a little show. I mean, if the Knicks were on, thank the Knicks for this, honestly, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you for being able to hear us tonight, right?
Yeah, well, first thing I'll say to everyone that might be watching on TikTok, if you want to see my face, it's only exclusive on YouTube at JD's Empire.
That's the premium channel.
Yeah, it's other than that, though, glad to be back. That Knicks stream was a lot going on. It was a blowout game, to say the least. A lot going on. The Knicks, big win. Congrats to all the New Yorkers out there. It was a long time coming, JD.
A very long time coming. We're going to get to a few things with the Knicks. I just wanted to start with them very briefly. I just wanted to have a little bit of a celebration just in terms of, obviously, we're starting the show and they're going to the finals. We have to mention them first before we talk about other sports. But I do want to say this. We will get to them a little later in the show. There's one chalked moment tonight, and if you guys know the way I roll in terms of loving to see people try to make a jerk out of someone else and still fail doing it, we will see that. That was in the news a little bit today. And then the actual Knicks, X's and O's type of talk. We'll get to that when we actually talk about the NBA. But, the celebration is going. Obviously, you guys have seen in the streets or the videos, when I've been there twice so far in this postseason run, when I haven't been there, the videos that have been out there of these fans celebrating in the streets. Corey, you said it perfectly. It's been a very, 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 very long time coming. I mean, this team hasn't won a championship in 53 years. Yeah, that's the right amount of years. You guys will get why I'm saying that in a little bit. But yeah, just playoffs in general, success in New York. Because if you think about it, like in New York, as all the sports teams we have much more than every other state. And we still don't have that many successful teams. I mean, the Yankees are, they haven't won a World Series in almost 20 years now, which is crazy to say. But they're the one, constant in New York. The Knicks seem like they're starting to become that again. 5 out of 6 years of the playoffs. I mean, that's going in the right direction because obviously the other teams we have are not consistently good. So it's something to have with the Knicks right now. Very, very exciting. Very, very grateful of it. If you're a Knicks fan, you're not enjoying this and you're nitpicking at every little thing, then don't even watch because, I mean, this team has done flawless work since they went down 2-1 in the first round. I mean, am I wrong for these things? I know I'm coming out a little passionate, but I feel like it's the truth. I mean, you can't complain about anything this team has done right now. It's incredible. It really is incredible.
Yeah, I mean, we can't complain about anything, especially when the last time the Knicks lost, I mean, Crazy Dom was a little crazy out in Staten Island.
Right.
And that's been a month. I mean, all emotions of grief.
I mean, Dom went through life. Literally, he went through the stages of life in about 10 minutes. We were talking about it the other night. The Mets lost. The Jets he thought screwed up, but obviously they seemed like they turned that around that night. The Knicks went down 2-1 against the Hawks when the team had championship expectations. All that happened, and they have not lost since then. So when we think about, we're going to look back at this 5-10 years down the road if this team can win the championship, which is going to be very tough. We'll get to that as well. But when we look at it, we're going to be like, damn, that was the night that it all turned. The Knicks became a championship contender in the 2 days after that, and Dom's life went from upside down to, he's feeling like a hero.
To right side up, yeah.
Yeah, right. The only team that has skated by right now is the Mets because no one cares about the Mets, but we'll get to that as well. So we have a lot to talk about, but let's get into hockey first, just because we already have talked about a little bit of basketball and break it up a little bit. But Vegas has swept the Avalanche, but I think is a surprise, yeah. But I don't think it. I mean, in a sense of sweeping, yeah. But Vegas probably could have won that series, or what we thought would have won that series. But a sweep in the conference final round in hockey, that's very difficult to see. Obviously, Corey, you watch more than me, and I came across this stat, which is absolutely insane. The Vegas Golden Knights have been in a team for 9 years. Not even a decade. They've been a team, an organization, and they've been there a third of the time. So every 3 years, you're seeing the Vegas Golden Knights in the Stanley Cup. Talk to me about what this team has done right, because it's obviously not the same people they've had in year one, but it seems like anyone they bring in there, it just instantly breeds winning, right? I mean, it's crazy. It's really crazy what they're doing.
Absolutely. I think it's a mix of just great coaching, good ownership, just great chemistry. You know, they were not supposed to make the playoffs with how their season was supposed to, how the season was going. Yeah. Like they were, you know, a 500 team, slightly below 500. Like they really were not playing at the level that we're used to seeing them play.
Right.
You know, they get Marner out of Toronto, out of that hellhole that Toronto has become. And he's been shining. And John Tortorella, excuse me, has been the big piece. I mean, 18-4-1, including the regular season since he's been hired. Just a complete facelift of this team. And in the postseason, I mean, I know Eichel's been kind of disappointing on the scoring sheet, but 16 assists. He's been still making a lot of plays. And Brett Howden, too, has been stellar. He had 12 goals in the regular season. He's got 10 in this postseason. Really has been a surprise. And if you're Colorado, I mean, you know, McKinnon was getting banged up, took, you know, some block shots, and they just faced a team that was getting hot at the right time.
Yeah, right. I love how you're bringing up Howden and you know, role players. Obviously, 12 goals in an 82 game season. You're a role player. It's just the way it is. But there's guys that are role players that step up huge in the postseason, and that's when you know things are going right. When you have guys that are, you know, they're good players, but they're not high expectation players, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my, this team is, you know, it's crazy. It's crazy what this team is doing. And, you know, we haven't touched upon it, and it's a little bit, it's not sensitive in the sense of Carter Hart playing great, but the fact that he got there, you know, things happen along the way for him to get to Vegas. But the fact that he's back to his normal form of, you know, being a good goaltender, and that's what's gotten this team far as well. But yeah, Tortorella brought in on March 30th. You never see a coach brought in a new coach, not even assistant promoted to, you know, manager, head coach, whatever you want to call it in terms of the different sports. This was a guy that was outside of the organization, had no involvement in this organization, that comes in March 30th. Corey, the playoffs started 2 or 3 weeks after that, and this guy has got them in the Stanley Cup final, as they can sit back with their pina coladas and, you know, their arms back like this and be like, yeah, we're gonna wait to see who we play, and they're probably gonna beat whoever they play. I mean, it's crazy. It really is crazy of what's going on here. Let's move on to the other matchup. So we got the Hurricanes up 2-1 over the Canadiens. You know, that's the Eastern Conference final matchup. We probably expected Carolina to get there just based off of, you know, the very talented team. They were a team that has dominated pretty much throughout the whole year. Canadians have come, I think, you know, out of the park a little bit. Like they were that, you know, they're like that kid that plays you know, he's a good player. He plays by himself in the schoolyard. And then when the guys, you know, all the kids want him to play, then he comes in and then he starts dominating. It seems like what Montreal was. They were that team that no one even really thought about, got themselves into the postseason, and now are, you know, 3 wins away from, you know, making the Stanley Cup final. Obviously, they're down in the series, but me and Biggie have talked about this. I know I know what you're gonna say, because this is what I'm gonna say first. Carolina is always known to have some trouble when, in terms of the expectations, continue to go up. So, do you think that Carolina will get this done, and you don't think Montreal is ready, or do you think that Carolina is going to Carolina and lose it again when it matters?
I don't know. I feel like this is the year that Carolina finally pulls through.
I mean,
like,
they have to.
Just the way they're playing. Montreal, I mean, they were very good in the regular season, but just this postseason, they've had a few good games, but them playing their game, like quote unquote their game, they really haven't done that a full 60 minutes this postseason, especially that game 7 against Tampa. I mean, you didn't have a single shot on goal in that second period. And in this series too, I mean, you've been outshot 93-47. I mean, you had a really good game 1, but games 2 and 3, I mean, you've been held to 12 to 15 shots. You're not going to win games, and you're lucky to have a goalie like Dobish in there keeping you alive, because without Dobish in net playing as good as he's been, this series could have been over quickly. But Carolina right now, they have just been squeezing the Canadians. They're playing their game. Like, Montreal has just been smothered. They just have not been able to use their speed, because they're a young team.
Yeah, I was going to say young and inexperienced.
Yeah, just young and inexperienced. Like they just haven't been able to use their speed and their skill that they've used all season, especially like Caulfield. Like a lot of these guys just haven't been shining like they were in the regular season.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is when it gets to the point. Usually, experience takes like all the things that you're looking at of like Carolina. They should win this, but it's like in the back of your head, it is like, oh, Carolina always.
There's a little doubt. Yeah.
There is doubt, but I mean, like you laid it out of why they should be able to win 2 more games and not lose this series. But I always have that in the back of my mind. Obviously, being a Ranger fan, when the Rangers have had that little bit of success in the early, like right after COVID, it was always beating or sending Carolina, packing, just sending them home. And it's like the Canadians remind me a little bit of those Ranger teams a few years ago, just young, hungry, want to be there, want to play. Yeah, Carolina's more talented, but it's like, can Carolina get over that hump? I think they will. I agree with you. You laid it out perfectly. I mean, if this team has the experience, they're shutting down certain features of what Montreal likes to do. A young team that is ready to, they're fearless. They want to go out there. They want to do everything. As my headphone falls out once again, I apologize. These things suck. But yeah. That perfect way of putting it. I couldn't have said it, better myself. And then the last bit of news here, I want you to take this one because I know you were very happy. I saw you've made it known to the public how you feel about this. At least just for one more year, this is going to be happening, right? Is that seems like it's kind of like a farewell tour for these boys?
Well, definitely not for Crosby. As knock on wood, praise God that he stays healthy. But yeah. Evgeny Malkin signing a 1-year deal. Staying with Pittsburgh. Letang, he's got 3 years left on his contract. He's not going to retire. He's going to stay. And then obviously Crosby's Crosby. He's like LeBron and Brady, just an ageless wonder. So we're going to get another of the big 3. 1 year, $5.5 million. No movement clause. So like if he decides to play next year, he can go anywhere and he can't go down to the AHL, can't be moved unless his permission. So Malkin's in full control in this, what could be a farewell year for him.
Yeah, right. And before we keep going, if you guys are going to make comments that aren't right on TikTok, reveal who you are before we keep going. Sorry, Corey. I just wanted to put that out there because someone just wants to be a tough guy but has no picture and says his name is Shane Gillis. I highly doubt Shane Gillis knows who we are. So, yeah, if you want to say who you are, you can message me if you have my number or put your real name on there. Thank you. But yeah, perfect point there. Pittsburgh is in a weird spot, I think, right? It's like these guys are still can play. Obviously, they still can play, but it's like at some point, does it get stale? Does it get stale around there a little bit? Which is, you never know. You never know what's going to happen for Pittsburgh, but we'll see. Now let's move to the basketball, which I said we would get back to. So today I did the notes like usual during the day, midday, sat back and did the notes. And then for the first time in a decent amount of time, because, right now it's like we know hockey's there, basketball's there. Obviously, they're the big ones. And then you got the NFL and MLB, which isn't really something, or anything crazy. Then I come across this little bit of news, which, we're not going to talk politics in the sense of who we agree with, who we don't agree with, and that stuff like that. But I thought this was funny. I just thought that, me and Corey, our personalities, if someone announces something and we're like, okay, we have a chance at, poking some fun at them, we're going to try. But when we try, we do it right. This person, unfortunately, did not do it right, which is kind of funny. But yeah, New York Governor Hochul tries to slam on Donald Trump. I put it that way. And then for attacking the Knicks, so Trump was plans on going to either Game 3 or Game 4, which is obviously a huge thing. And he's been if people don't know him, obviously, Trump has been a lifelong Knicks fan, and it hasn't been something that just happened. It's been something that's been around for a little bit, and Trump has decided he wants to go to one of the games. So then Hochul finds out today, and like the report, obviously, Corey, we've learned these type of things. When you're trying to interview someone, you want to get the best answer out of them that you can get. And Hochul was asked, what do you think about Trump possibly going to the Knicks game and stuff like that? So she thought that he wasn't a Knicks fan or whatever. And then she's like, he probably couldn't guess the 1993 championship starting 5. So I'm sitting back there. I hear it. I was like, okay. At first, it goes past you. You're like, goes one ear out of the other. I'm like, what the hell does that mean? And then I'm like, oh my God, 1993, they didn't win anything. Like, what is going on? They didn't win nothing in 1993. So if you're going to make fun of someone, you got to get it right. you got to get it right before you make fun of someone, which is very, very funny. That's why I was like, well, why not be a chalked moment? Hopefully, come on, you got to be better with your game there. You got to come up with something that's fun. You're trying to be funny, and then you screw it up. So it's like, okay, now you look like the idiot. If she's saying, if she said it right, then Trump would have had the chance of responding to it, be like, yeah, I know who won, but they didn't win anything in 1993. So I was like, okay, we had to bring that up, poke some fun into that. Unlike Shane Gillis on the TikTok, because I'm not appreciating the comments. You're going to get banned in 2 seconds. But, that's the point I'm trying to make. And I would love to know who you are. You can make these comments and not say who you are. So you're very cool for that. And no, I'm not 30 years old, actually. I'm much younger than that. Let's go to the rest of the NBA, where the Thunder are up 3-2 over the Spurs with Game 6 tomorrow. So can the Spurs win Game 6 to get to Game 7? The Spurs are. I think they're not ready yet for this, but they're playing pretty damn well, especially Victor Wembanyama being the star he is. I mean, Corey. I was watching the game because my uncle was over on Sunday. He's not a big basketball guy, and he's like, oh, who's this 7'4" guy? I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? He's like, oh, that Wemby guy. I'm like, you don't know who Wemby is? Like, what are you talking about? That's the beginning of the end for Yosia. We're not doing that either. Probably could have guessed who that is, but it's okay. So the Thunder are up 3-2 against the Spurs, with Game 6 being tomorrow night, like I just said. So the Thunder won last night, Spurs won Sunday night. So I think the Thunder decided last night, if we lose, we're not losing to Wemby just being dominant. I mean, it can't get to that point. And they were hitting them pretty hard. And the referees, I don't know if you saw this, Corey. I was seeing it all over Twitter. People are not happy about the whistle the Thunder are getting. And I don't know why this has been something that just comes up now. I mean, this has been OKC has gotten the whistle for the last 2.5 years. Yeah, people are to be like, oh, you're of course you're going to say that because the Knicks may play them. It's the truth. I mean, they get a lot of foul calls that other teams don't get, especially SGA. I mean, there's a reason why. Yeah. SGA is a very singular talent. Don't get me wrong, he is very good. But yes, I mean, the free throw merchant. We put that name out there for a reason. But talk to me. Let's break this down. Can the Spurs win tomorrow? Let's start with that. Can the Spurs win the series, which I'm having a lot more doubts on now? Can the Thunder, close this thing out tomorrow, or are they going to have to work a little harder? And from the Knicks fan perspective, I hope this goes 7 games. Let them beat each other up a little more before the Knicks rest up, and then we come back next week ready to roll. But yeah, let's start with that. Can the Spurs force a Game 7? And then, Game 7, you never know what's going to happen.
Well, first, I got to give this to the Oklahoma City Thunder, their little Oscar award. I think it's going to go 7. I really do. I think the Spurs, will fight one out. They're obviously going to play desperate. But if Wemby can't be efficient and can't get going, and it's going to be a long night for them because, Castle and Champagnie, they shot efficiently and, got 20 plus, but Wemby and Fox really struggled, especially Fox, basically non-existent. And the Spurs bench too. I mean, Keldon Johnson had 15, but it was a ghost town on the other seats on the bench. I mean, it was just and also I think too, maybe a little fatigue is kind of setting in for Wemby. I mean, he's taking less shots. I mean, usually he's a guy taking 20 plus shots, and I think he only took like 15 last game around there. So,
yeah, around there. He was definitely not as productive. I saw the stat of it was his worst plus minus game since March, which obviously we're in May now. I think also you can read into it a little bit. When you're on the road, the bench production is not always going to be the same just because, these guys count on comfort and, all those type of things when they're home. And now that they're not, but yeah, the stark difference. I mean, Corey, the Thunder are down. They're arguably their second and their third best player, especially scoring the basketball. And it was like, okay, we're good. We don't have any problems. We're okay, which is crazy. It shows how much depth they have. And I don't think the Spurs have that. I think that the Spurs are deep, but they're not as deep as OKC. And it just, eventually will catch up to them. But we'll see what happens. But I would love for it to go 7 games. I would love for the Spurs to come back and win. Because, Wemby's great and all, but I think the Knicks would still be able to beat them, even with someone like Wemby scoring. Say Wemby scores 35 points. I think the Knicks can withstand that. OKC, listen, OKC is obviously really good. They won last year. They're a very tall task, They could be beat. Yeah, Indiana forced them 7 games last year. It's nothing new. But OKC has what it takes, and they have the championship DNA. They can look at the last guy on their bench and be like, you know what? We need you right now. Go in there and make a shot for us, and he'll do it. And that's not something that everyone else is able to have, and then that just makes OKC a good team. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. But Game 6 tomorrow for the Knicks winning, that's what allows for that to all happen. But other NBA news, we got more Knicks talk. So let's talk about the Knicks in the sense of X's and O's. So the Knicks obviously back-to-back sweeps, so they have won 11 straight. 8-0 in the last 2 series. It wasn't even competitive. I mean, this is out of control what is going on with this team, and it's like, what has changed? So people, I know I've had a few people, even me, like I'm not a big X's and O basketball guy. I always love to learn, and obviously we know that. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, what have the Knicks done differently? So obviously in the first round, it was Karl Anthony Towns becoming the vocal point in terms of him orchestrating the offense, which has not been the case since he's been in New York, and why he's pretty much been frustrated a very, very large amount of the time. It was Cat pretty much, going out there, just standing in the corner, hoping he gets the ball and not doing anything with it. And then all of a sudden, Cat becomes the guy at the top of the key. Guys are cutting for layups. Then next series against Philly, they do the same thing. Philly looked like they didn't even want to be there. It was like, okay, you know what? We're going to get our behinds beat for 4 games, and we're just going to move on. We're happy with beating the Celtics in the first round. We're good. We're good. We're packing our bags. We're ready for vacation. Then we play the Cavs. The first game, the Knicks couldn't make a 3. They were taking away the backdoor cuts, and you're like, okay, what are we going to do now? Then Jalen Brunson's like, you know what? I don't know if you saw this video. I'll send it to you after the show, Corey, because it just shows how much of a leader Jalen Brunson is. They're down by 20 points at that point. Brunson comes in, and he's stern. He was stern with the boys at one of the timeouts in the fourth quarter. The rest of the game, they won a 44-11 run. They didn't look back. And Brunson was the guy. Leaders now, it's very hard for leaders nowadays to do, both being productive and a leader. Brunson said, you know what? We need to put our bodies, you're going to come on my back right now, and we're going to go for a ride. And and he scored. I mean, don't get me wrong. He scored 20 points probably the rest of the game. You got Mikal Bridges has become a favorite of mine. I can't believe that. I can't believe those words are coming out of my mouth. Corey, you know how frustrated I would get with him. All right. I'm sorry. I don't know who this is, but he's really pushing the buttons right now. All right, but yeah, you can go ahead there. I was going to say, Corey, Bridges has been a guy I have went against for a number of times. I'm like, I can't take this guy. He pisses me off. It's like the fadeaway shots, and all of a sudden, yeah. He has. I'm not even joking. He's probably made 70% of his shots in the playoffs. And talk to me here. What? How does this just change? It's like it doesn't feel real to me, obviously, because I'm a fan of the team. How does this change like this? And it looks like they can't be beat by anybody.
I don't know if they made a sacrifice or what, but something in that locker room changed. I mean, I honestly have no explanation. I mean, they've looked good all year. I mean, there's been points throughout the year where you scratch your head, you get frustrated. Like every team has their ups and downs, but I don't know. They just got it together. I just feel like, Cat's not complaining as much. I feel like he's just focused on the goal ahead, not so much the little things or the BS that kind of the outside noise. Brunson's just carried the team on his back. OG has pulled through. Even Josh Hart, who at times could struggle or not put up a lot of offense. Some games he's dropping 20 plus.
Game 2, yeah.
Yeah, but Landry Shamet, my guy, I mean, he's just been
how can we forget? How can we forget about him?
And I was talking highly of him during the regular season when we were doing Knicks streams, and he's come together and pulled through in this postseason. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. And not only is the team coming together, the city of New York is coming together. It's just a beautiful time. And I think they're riding just a perfect storm where they have a really, really good shot of winning it all this year.
It's incredible. I told you this the other night. It's just like it feels like it's a dream. Like it doesn't feel real. because I talked about how being a Mets fan, 2015, I see the World Series. So like you get there and you're like, this team they're not going to be able to beat the Royals. Then Notre Dame makes the championship game. There's no way Notre Dame's beating Ohio State. Look at the players they have. Now I sit here, I'm like, I don't care who we play. I think we can beat anyone. It just come to that point. And going back to Landry Shamet, I know we give him a lot of love on the show, probably the most that he will ever receive on any show. He was in the playoff rotation, out of the playoff rotation. When they went down 2-1, he was out, gets injured, comes back, has to play a decent amount of minutes because OG gets hurt, and he's never looked back. I mean, this has been a guy that has every single game he comes off the bench, he's making contributions. Game 1, he hits a game tying 3 with less than a minute left as Josh Hart's on the bench because Josh Hart struggles. Then, like you just said, game 2, Josh Hart couldn't miss a shot. I mean, everyone is contributing. I was thinking about doing this today. I was like, you know what? Name every guy on the team because literally all of them have done played a role in this team. Brunson, Bridges, Adenobi, Towns, Hart, Shamet, McBride, Mitchell Robinson, Jordan Clarkson, Jose Alvarado, Tyler Kolek, even a little bit, Ariel Hawk-Porty, Jeremy Sohan. I mean, all these guys have contributed. That's when that is when something is going to go your way. I mean, the finals will be a tall task, but I did want to bring them up in terms of the X's and O's because something was switched and they never looked back. It really was something that is incredible that you never know if you're going to be able to see a run like this again. So even if they don't win, obviously we want them to win, right? Like that's exactly what we want. But you can't like diminish it. It's really something that you have to enjoy every second of it. And Corey, you know me, I get very, very emotional in terms of frustration with one of my sports teams. So this is the good that comes with sometimes when you have a Jets team that doesn't know what they're doing, or a Mets team that I'll talk about in a little bit, which has been skating by because no one is even talking about them.
They don't know what they're doing either, JD.
They don't either, yeah. But I'm saying they're lucky they have another 3 weeks or so before everyone focuses on them again at how terrible they are. By then, the season will probably be over and no one will even care still. But you get the point I'm trying to make here. So listen, obviously the people who watch us, they know I get very, very frustrated easily with my teams because I know we want a winner. But when we have a winner like this, I'm going to be the first one to say it. You cannot take it for granted because you never know. This Knicks team can never get this far again. You don't know what can happen. These guys might not even be on the team next year. Like you don't know. You don't know. And you gotta soak it in. You gotta enjoy it. That's why on the stream the other night, the last 5 minutes of the game, I literally didn't know what to say. I kept repeating myself. I'm like,
that's why I joined back.
Right. I was like, I don't have any words. I really do not know what to say because it's like it's a weird feeling because it's a team that, you invest your time in, you watch them, you go to games, you go to watch parties, and then it feels like they're repaying you for what you invested in them. Let's put it that way. And, we really appreciate it. And if the Knicks are watching out there, hopefully you guys hear this. Like it really means a lot for you guys to, and they take on what the city is all about. Like there's teams like the Mets. They don't give a damn. They just show up and they're like, yeah, okay, we'll show up today. We'll hit a couple of ground balls. We'll do a courtesy jogs to first base. We'll catch a few fly balls. We'll pitch a little bit. We'll give up some runs. We'll get some strikeouts, and then we're good. Yeah, we'll play tomorrow too. We'll be back tomorrow. Like the Knicks are not doing that. They play like there is no tomorrow, and I wish more teams can play like that. And yeah, I've rambled on a little bit here. I got distracted before. But let's move on. Other NBA news. This one I wasn't shocked by. I was like not expecting it in the sense of, the Celtics are just annoying. Like no one cares about them. But Coach Joe Mazzulla won Coach of the Year for Boston. I get it just because, Tatum's out for the whole year. I understand, but I feel like there's other guys that maybe had less to work with. I'm not being a jerk about it. I'm just saying I feel like there's other teams that maybe could have, maybe the Spurs coach. Why couldn't the Spurs coach win it? I mean, this is a team
that's what I was going to say.
Right? I mean, this is a team this is a fairly new coach, a team that didn't have. I mean, they won games last year, but they didn't win this many games. I mean, crying out loud, they won games, right? Do you agree with me on that, or am I going crazy? Because I know people are going to be, if I post this, you'll be like, oh, you just hate Boston. That's why you're talking about them. That's just how I feel. Listen, Tatum not being there, his best player, they're still winning 50 games. I get it. I do get it. But you still have a Jaylen Brown there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, expectations weren't as high as they usually are, but they're still there.
Yeah, I mean, in my notes, I had, Johnson underlined. I just thought like nobody expected San Antonio to get into the postseason. I thought they were going to improve. I don't think they were going to be as bad as last year, but still, I think everybody thought they were going to be a team that, maybe try and get a good spot in the draft lottery, like just try and get close. Like nobody expected them to pull 62 wins. I mean,
no, not at all. Did. Not at all, especially like last year. What they started out okay, if I remember. Yeah. Then Wemby had that something. I think it was like a legit medical issue, not an injury.
Was it a blood clot?
I believe so. It was. Yeah, right. Yeah. I think I was gonna say. I think it was that. Then, and then what you call it? And then he's out. They had the Chris Paul there, but then they traded for De'Aaron Fox, which is a weird thing. And then like, why are they trading for De'Aaron Fox? Then you look at it. Then they get the top 3 pick in the draft. They bring in Dylan Harper. You got Dylan Harper, De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, Wemby. So you have a lot of young players. This is the point I'm trying to make. And then you win that many games. Like, why is that guy not the guy to win the Coach of the Year?
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
I'm not saying that Joe Mazzulla wasn't deserving of it. I feel like there was maybe a guy that was more deserving of it, just based off of what the events that happened. But these voters are just Mazzulla, Boston. You have to give them something. They didn't win anything. They have to because they love Boston. And I mean, listen, they win, so it's easy to root for a team that wins. But you get it. You get what I'm saying there. Then the last bit of news was I put I was in a joking mood today. I'm laughing before you can say it. But yeah, Kenny Analytics Atkinson will be back in Cleveland next year, and he's actually preparing for Game 5 tonight. According to the analytics, the series is tied up 2-2. So Corey, are you ready for Game 5? It actually tips off in about 10 minutes or so. We want to watch that. Maybe the analytics.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you told me we were going to wrap up the stream in a few minutes. You just texted me because then we got to start the Knicks live stream. We're going to do another one today for Game 5. So,
yeah, Game 5. Cavs versus Knicks, 2-2 in the series. We're getting ready for it. If you guys, no, we're just joking with you. Kenny Atkinson is a moron. He's back in Cleveland. I mean, but the analytics statement, that was crazy. So he may be called by me, and now I think you should call him that too, Corey. Kenny Analytics Atkinson will be his name forever. It's never going to change. I don't care if he even came to coach the Knicks. I'm still going to call him Kenny Analytics Atkinson. That was a little hard to say at the end there, but I was like, this has to be said. But yeah, he'll be back in Cleveland. What do you think about that? I mean, listen, I think he's a good coach. I just think he's a little full of himself sometimes. I think Cleveland is going to look different next year, so he's going to have to. Yeah. I think he's going to have to coach a little harder than he did this year. Let me say that.
I think next year's a make or break. Like, I'm kind of torn with whether you should fire him or not because there's still some good available coaches out there that could maybe take his place, but I'm kind of leaning towards give him another year. And this is a make or break. I mean, last year they were excellent and they get bounced early. And then this year they were great again. They get bounced, in the East Final, and then when he was time in Brooklyn, didn't have really any success. Like, he doesn't have the greatest track record. So I feel like, especially with this, if you have 3 winning seasons with the Cavs and you're getting 50, 60 wins and you can't do anything in the postseason, I think it's a make or break for him next year. And if you're trusting analytics, if you're getting 60 some wins and you get into the postseason and you get first rounded, don't be you can't trust the analytics anymore.
I mean, he had to say something better than that, right? Like, that's what you're going in. Like, this. Like, the coaches kind of know what's coming. Like, they're not going in there blindfolded, not knowing what questions may come at them. I mean, come on. Kenny, I like Kenny. Like, I'm not like he's coached Brooklyn. Like, he's a New York type of guy. I think he is from New York, actually. I like him. Like, but come on, you can't. He fell into the trap. He fell into the analytics trap. I wasn't expecting that from him. I was just expecting him to be like, yeah, we got beat. We got to just figure it out. Hopefully we can turn it around. But make or break is totally right. I mean, the team's probably going to look different. They've made the postseason, but it's like I think they're what this year's Knicks were. Like, listen, every year it's getting better. But they're keeping him. The Knicks did not keep their coach, and obviously we've seen what happened with that. So you got to look at it and be like, oh, okay. I mean, we're getting better every year, but are we going to get to the promised land and Kenny Atkinson do it? I mean, Kenny Atkinson may not be the guy for it, but you never know. I mean, he's a good coach. I think he's a good coach. I just think that he fell into the trap with that. And yes, it is definitely a make or break year for Cleveland coming up next year. let's go to the NFL and then MLB, and then quick, how you doing? A little shout out as well. I don't want to forget that. And then no pick'em this week, but we will reveal some new thing for the pick'em, which would be very, very fun. But yeah, the NFL, Derwin James signed a 3-year extension worth $76 million with the Chargers, making him the highest paid safety for the second time in his career. That's why I brought it up. I mean, this is a guy I feel I personally, I don't want to, forget about the guy, but I kind of do. I'm like, all right, Derwin James, like, I know he's good. He's a good player. I just sometimes just forget about how good he is. And 3-year, $76 million deal for a safety, Corey. I mean, damn, he got paid. And this is the second time he's resetting the market. Obviously, I think who got it? 2022, he got it. And then forgot who was in between him. I don't remember who, but
yeah, I'm blanking also. Yeah,
I'm blanking on that. But someone was in between him, and then he obviously just reset it now. But talk to me about Derwin James. Obviously, there's the Chargers team that makes the playoffs every single year, and then they usually just lose. I hate to break it that way, but that's usually what happens with them. But yeah, talk to me about Derwin James and him being, second time in his career. I mean, man, this guy's racking in the dough. Let's say that.
Well, I mean, he's just continued to be such a great playmaker. 50 tackles last year. I mean, tied a career high in interceptions last year. I saw that headline. I'm just like, give that man his money. I mean, well deserved. And now at this point, it's like for the Chargers, he's the second highest paid player on the team. Justin Herbert's got that big contract. They still have $43 million in cap space. So if they do want to make some other moves too, I mean, the Chargers can. So they got a lot of breathing room, and they get back, their big guy that they want, long term.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know that 40 plus million at this stage of the offseason is, I mean, they could swing a trade if they really want to. I mean, they do have a good team, but I mean, it doesn't hurt to add in another prize weapon. I think we should keep an eye on that. I think we might have a new segment called Chargers Watch, is where we see what they do with that 40 million. I mean, 40 million. Wow, 40 million in May. That's crazy. And they sign guys too. It's not like they didn't sign anyone. They went out there. They made not the high end moves, but they finally got someone that can actually stand there and not let Herbert get killed and break every rib in his body or his back or whatever. They finally were able to do that. 40 million. Wow, that's a lot of money. I mean, they could do something. I know AJ Brown to the Patriots seems like that's going to be happening next week, but the Chargers should try to dip in there. I know they have good receivers, but why not add another one, right? Or
go ahead. Yeah.
No, you're good. I was good.
It's also insane to think how the cap's like. I think I saw like 300 million now.
It goes up every year.
Insanity. So you see, like, you think like 45 mils, or 43 mils, a lot of money, but you got to think like what the 300 mil cap is, like how much money like teams are spending, like the Dolphins too, like how much they're spending. It's insane.
Yeah, it is. It is wild. It is very, very wild. And every year, it's like the cap is going up every single year, over and over and over again. It's something. It's something to keep an eye on. But yeah, damn, I did not know that. We might do that. I have to tell Biggie about that too, so he's not like, what the hell are you talking about when we do it? But yeah, Chargers Watch. Let's see if they actually spend the 40 million that they have around there. But other NFL news, we got Josh Jacobs has been released from jail and is facing serious domestic violence charges against him. So usually we kind of avoid these things, but I think the high profile name is why we're going to bring it up, just because we're going to talk about it on the football side. Obviously, very, very unfortunate for that to even be a thing. That should never be a thing. Obviously, you should never be doing what he's allegedly done. So we're not going to talk about that in the sense of that, just because it's terrible. But on the football side, I mean, right now the Packers, Micah Parsons is not on schedule to come back. Tucker Kraft is still out. I mean, now this is a guy that came to Green Bay on a huge deal. This is his third year now. Didn't play that well last year. Was hurt, banged up, didn't really produce. The first year he was great. Last year, not good. Obviously, the first year I had him on my fantasy team. He was outstanding.
We remember that.
I was going to say, I used to talk about him every week. He was like my guy of the week because I just loved him so much. But yeah, last year, injured, didn't play well. And now Jacobs is just, I mean, I really don't get these guys, right? It's like, what you have the world in your hands.
That's what I wanted to say.
Player.
That's what I wanted to rant about.
Right? Yeah, go ahead. Take it away.
It's unbelievable. You got to think, like, you know, we have Rashee Rice violating his probation, so he's in
we
jail.
didn't talk about him. Yeah.
You got Nolan Smith, reckless driving, Marquise Bell for controlled substance, James Pierce, domestic violence. Like, they're making all this money and they can't get out of their own way. Like, you and I, we would love to have, you know, Derwin James's contract. That would be,
man,
you know, he's set for life. You know,
you're set for life. Everyone knows you. Like, I don't want to. And did they not, Corey? I mean, did they? Let's be real here. Did they not know that when they do something stupid, it's going to get, you know, magnified?
Yeah.
And they don't get it.
With the media, like us, we're doing it right now. We're calling out Rashee Rice. Why are you violating your probation? You should be getting back to football. Like,
yeah, right. I mean, I don't get it. Yeah, he's another one because he's coming back from injury and he's not even able to. You can't do your rehab in prison. I mean, stranger things have happened, but I don't see that actually happening. Now he gets set back on that, especially, you know, coming back from surgeries. You can't be off your schedule, your timeline, just because it messes. You know, it'll mess you up. And I don't know. I just don't get these guys. And it seems like it's always something that should be prevented that happens anyway. And it's like, why? Like, why are we doing these things? Like, I don't get it. And it's, so, I mean, they have to do something different. I feel like every NFL team should have someone that they could just hire that has like a stern voice and just get in their head and be like, guys, why are we doing these things? Like, what if you have an issue, like, you know, if you have a problem, like, you have to go and speak about it, not just, you know, do that. I mean, it's mind-boggling. It really is mind-boggling to me. Let's go to the MLB where we'll check out the standings because really no new news, really. I mean, it's been a few injuries here and there, but nothing crazy. Nothing I would really even document to talk about a little more. But I'll start us off the National League because I'm a National League guy, obviously, and then Corey will take over. He's you know, his team's not playing the best either, but they have been playing a little better. But both of our teams are not playing to what we thought they would be. So let's start with the NL East where we have the Braves in first place. I mean, they've been there since the first game of the season. They're not leaving. 9-game lead. They would need to really play terribly the rest of the year for them to not even have a chance. I called it. I don't want to sound like I know everything, but I called it. I said there's no way this team is not going to bounce back. They're a team that is a well-run organization. They have good players. Those were guys who just underperformed and got hurt. There's no way they're going to be bad 2 years in a row. The Braves are almost 20 games over 500. I mean, can we expect anything less from that organization? Oh, I thought he hit a home run. Sorry. Can we expect anything less from that organization? I mean, the Braves are, you know, we joke around with the Steelers being the standard, but the Braves are a standard in the league. Like, they're really well-run organization. Let's do the Phillies, where we got the Phillies at second place, 29-27. They've been much better since they've made the coaching change of, obviously, you know, Don Mattingly, Corey, as he was with your Blue Jays last year. Now he's the head man for the Phillies. You know, he's been changing it around. They have been a little bit up and down for the past week and a half or so, but they have been playing, you know, hell of a lot better than what they did, you know, all those the beginning of the year, all those games. Then we got the National. Look at the Washington Nationals, 1 game over 500. I mean, this hasn't happened since Juan Soto and Bryce Harper were there. I mean, it's been a while. I mean, man, with no names. They have no names on this team, really. I mean, they have a few, but nothing really you can write home about. Nationals at 29-28. Just half a game back from second place, so you never know. You never know what's going to happen with these guys, and you're getting blocked again. So keep trying me. I'm telling you, keep trying me because I'm not doing this today. So the Nationals are 29-20. I apologize, guys, watching too. It's ridiculous. So the Nationals are 29-28. Then we got the Marlins at 26-31. Miami can pitch because I watched them play the Mets over the weekend. Corey, they can throw, man. They have good arms, like high 90s arms, like really legit young guys, but they cannot hit. They need to really – I mean, I think if we hit in their lineup, we probably hit better than what they're doing. Then we got the Marlins also, I should say, did sweep the Mets over the weekend. So, yeah, that just shows how terrible the Mets are. Right there in last place at 22-33. I saw earlier today, I'm not buying any stock into it this time. Mets are 22-33 in 2024, and they made it all the way to the NLCS. You're not getting that type of magic 2 out of 3 years. It's over. The season is over. The only guy that legitimately can hit a baseball is Juan Soto and 2 rookies. You have 2 rookies and Juan Soto, the only guys that can actually do something. I mean, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Carson Bench, A.J. Ewing, and Juan Soto. That's literally all you have on this team. As you got Marcus Semien, who hitting 210. Eric Wagaman. Who the hell is that? He hit a home run tonight.
Hey, Bo Bichette.
Bobish off. Don't even get me started. You want him back? Like we can arrange it. We could trade him back because
I don't know if he's self-sabotaging to try and get back to Canada. I don't know what he's doing, but yeah, when I've seen how he's been playing, I'm like, ooh, boy. I mean, that's not the Bobish that I know. Like,
I mean, Corey, it might be a different guy in the uniform and just like pretending he's Bobish. I can't believe
he's got to grow the hair back out. You know?
Oh, I can't believe how bad he's been. I really can't believe. And his swings are just god awful. It looks like he's never played before. And, it's funny you say maybe he's self-sabotaging. He's a player. He's got a player option. There's no way this guy is opting out of a $42 million deal. He's not getting even half of that if he continues to do what he's doing because it's a joke. I can't believe how bad he's been. I mean, Soto's been in and out with the injuries, and he was sick for a few days. And he had a home run yesterday, hit another one today. So he's hitting. I mean, he has like 12 home runs now, and he had like 3 up until a couple of weeks ago. So he's getting it going. He's getting it going. But I mean, at some point, like, what is this team? They can't do anything right. I mean, they literally cannot do anything. They bring up whoever they bring up in terms of pitching sucks. I mean, David Peterson has to go. He's another one that's terrible. And all I got to say is this: I'm not going to get too pissed about it, just because the Knicks are doing very well, but the Mets, you guys, I'm going to get closer to the screen. You guys are very lucky that the Knicks are playing right now because you guys would be getting scorched by the fan base, by sports talk radio, everything, TV, everything. You guys would be getting scorched, and you're very, very lucky that the Knicks are still playing right now. That's all I wanted to say on the Mets, just because they are a complete mess. And they need to figure it out. They really need to figure it out before it gets too late. And I think it is already too late. But for the fans out there that think that, he is Lindor coming back, Alvarez coming back, Luis Robert the guy has a back of a 70-year-old. I mean, Jesus Christ, this guy. He's not even coming back. I mean, come on. It's bad. It is really, really bad. With the Mets. I'm sorry. I've ranted more than I thought I should tonight, honestly. I mean, things are really getting to me, I guess. Oh, man. Let's go to the NL Central where we got the Brewers at 33-20. I mean, the Brewers are the Brewers. They just know how to win games. They know how to get it done. Does not matter who's on the roster, who's injured, who's doing that, whatever. They were in last place like 2-3 weeks ago. Now they're in first place. They're probably not going to give it up. Cardinals, 29-25. They're slowly starting to come back to earth a little bit. I mean, they were a team that was projected to be last place by literally everybody. And, they're starting to lose games a little bit. 3-7 in the last 10, so they've struggled. The Reds are 29-25. They're playing the Mets right now. They won the first 2 games, had the worst batting average in the league, and have decided that, you know what, we want to hit now. Let's go, boys. We're going to start hitting. But they do have good pitching. I do want to say that. Chase Burns threw last night. I think it was Abbott threw. Abbott's throwing tonight with the other lefty, Lodolo, who's had a rough year, but he's good. He pitched the first game. So they have good pitching. They just don't hit, besides when they play the Mets. Then we got the Pirates at 29-26 as well. Pirates have been up and down. I think they could be better. I think they should. If I'm the Pirates, I know they're not a team that tends to want to do things correctly, but I do want to say this. I think they really should consider getting another player or two at the deadline. Maybe not for this year, but at least give your team even more confidence going into next year. Be like, you know what? We got another bat, another pitcher. We're really taking this serious because I feel like they took a good step. They definitely took a good step, going from last year to this year. But I want to see it again. I want to see it happen again, and we'll see what Pittsburgh does with that. Then we got the Cubs at 29-26. I mean, let's see the last time they won a game. It says they're on a 10-game losing streak. They haven't. Yeah. Let's see. They have not won since May 16th. So this Saturday would be 2 weeks of them not winning baseball games. And let's see. How many runs have they scored? 3 runs, 8 runs. Okay. 3, 2, 0, 2, 0, 5. Okay. 1, 1. And now they're playing tonight. So I don't know what's happened to them, and they can't hit the baseball anymore. I'm not quite sure what's going on with that. And the Cubs, they have expectations, so they better figure it out because, their fan base might get a little restless because they're used to winning too, and they were expected to be a good team, especially based off of the moves they've made. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that, but I don't know why the Cubs are struggling because it seems like, they got. I mean, the pitching has been hurt, but I read those scores off on purpose. They're not scoring. Like that's the point I'm trying to make. Like you have a good lineup, guys not performing maybe as high as they should be. It is what it is. But let's go to the NL West where we got the Dodgers at 35-20, the Diamondbacks at 31-24. We got the Padres at 31-24. So the Diamondbacks have been streaky, but when they get going, man. Let me tell you, they're in second place. Dodgers are back to not losing baseball games. They don't know what losing is. My prediction, Corey, they're gonna win the World Series again, and baseball will not be played next year. That's my.
I'm smelling a lockout. Yeah, I'm smelling a lockout.
And I don't think it's gonna be a little brief one. I think it's gonna spill very, very much into the season where they're going to be like, you know what, we can't even play. What are we going to play 10 games and have a playoffs? Like, that's what I think is going to happen. Just because they're getting fed up. Everyone's getting fed up with the stupid. It's the Dodgers. It's always the Dodgers. Listen, they have the money. They're going to spend it. I'm not saying they shouldn't spend it, but it just gets, very tiring after a while. And then talked about the Diamondbacks. Padres 31-24 still have not played their best baseball. I don't know what they're waiting for, but they still have not, and they're still 7 games over 500. So if they can get everyone moving in the right direction, they can actually win this division. Please, San Diego, do something for baseball. Save baseball and win the division. Hopefully, knock the Dodgers out in the playoffs, because they might be the only team that can actually knock these guys out of the playoffs.
You never know. Maybe Arizona, like you said, they've been streaky. You don't know.
Yeah,
they went to a World Series a little bit ago.
They did a couple years back. They worry me though, because like you just said, streaky. They look so good and then they look terrible. It's like, what are we doing? Like, are we good today or are we bad today? Like that's the thing there. And then we got the Giants at 22-34. They are a absolute mess. Tony Vitello should go back to Tennessee. This guy he's been a mess. He's calling to the bullpen and doesn't even know. There's 2 guys warming up. Didn't signal which one's coming in the game. One was a righty, one was a lefty. Didn't do anything. He just pointed to the bullpen like they're supposed to, read his mind. He's fighting with umpires. I know a couple earlier in the year he was fighting with the ball boy, the bat boy, arguing with him or something. Like, what are we doing? Like this is why MLB teams tend to not bring college coaches into the league, just because the professionalism maybe isn't there 100%. Then we got the Rockies at 20-36. They're in dead last place. I mean. Colorado had a little bit of a magical run by hanging around 500, and now they've, the Rockies are rockying, and they're dead last there in the NL West. But let's go over to the American League, Corey. Take it away. And yeah, we got some better competition, but still the American League overall has just not been as strong as maybe people thought. I should say that.
Yeah, definitely not. But top of the American East, I mean, the Tampa Bay Rays, lowest starters ERA in the MLB at 2.88. I mean, I don't think any of us expected them to be leading this division right now.
No.
And they've been playing. I mean, they've lost 3 in a row, but I mean, a Tampa Bay starter has allowed more than 3 runs just once. Like, their pitching has been great, and that's why they're atop. But the guys below them, the Yankees, I mean, they're only 2.5 games behind. The offense leads in homers, of course. I mean, with Judge and Garrett Cole just came back. They got the 3rd best ERA right now. The Yankees, they had some, kind of a dry spell in April. They didn't play the best, but they've kind of got back on their feet, and they're in the race right now. And of course, my Toronto Blue Jays, 27-29. JD, I don't know what to say. I mean, I know they had high expectations. I mean, you go to the World Series last year. You should have won the World Series last year.
Should have won, yes.
Still not over that. The big thing, though, I mean, they led the MLB in on-base percentage last year. This year, they're 26. Like, that's a huge issue. Pitching's been an issue. I mean, I've been ranting to you about Brendan Little. Thank God they sent him down to Buffalo, because he is not – he still has trauma from the postseason. He still has not been good. And just injuries left and right, like Vladdy just came back. Ernie Clement is our top hitter right now, and Vladdy. I mean, they're just not good right now. Under them, Baltimore Orioles, pitching's not been that good. The bullpen's not been that good, and overall, just not good. They're kind of floating around. And Boston, dead last at 22-31. Yeah, they have been. We said the Orioles have been bad offensively. The Red Sox have been very, very bad. I mean, they've scored the fewest runs and hit the second fewest home runs in the MLB. Like, there's just like no offense. Their bullpen's been good, but they got a lot of work to do if they want to get back into the playoff race.
Right. I was going to say, before you move on, I just wanted to give a little brief thing with that. I think those top 2 teams, they're going to be fighting back and forth. But I think I have a positive, actually, about the Blue Jays. I think the Blue Jays, the American League has been so bad which has allowed Toronto to hang around. I think Toronto's going to be a second half team, and they're going to get into the playoffs, and they may make some noise. I think they do need to acquire maybe a few players just to help the situation there. But yeah, I think they're going to be better. The Orioles are just, like you just said, the hitting it's there, but they cannot pitch. And the Red Sox are literally the Mets. It's just both teams should have been better. It's disappointing. Red Sox do stupid things. I mean, they let players leave that they probably shouldn't have left. Let them leave. And yeah, that's what's going to happen when you don't prioritize keeping your own players around that are productive. You're going to lose games. So yeah, I just wanted to jump in there, and then take over for the American League Central, right?
Yep, the AL Central atop, of course, the Cleveland Guardians. It seems like every year been the Guardians. If maybe the Royals, if they're playing good. We'll get to Detroit in a second. Cleveland's been great. I mean, they're 7-3 in their last 10. They've been on won a huge stretch of their games. Their pitching's been great. Their offense is striking at the right time. And even in late and close situations, I mean, they lead the league in OPS. Like they're doing a lot right so far. And under them, this was a shocker. I mean, we know with Murakami and they got this new identity with their new slugger, the Chicago White Sox. I mean, they're 27-27, but second in the division right now. Yeah, that's a shock. I mean, I remember 2 seasons ago, I think it was on He Knows Ball, where that's all we talked about was how bad the White Sox were. And, they're on their way to breaking a record for most losses. And what a turnaround. The only thing for them, though, I mean, they have the highest whiff rate in the MLB, but they're third in home runs. So the offense is clicking, but there's still some areas, they need to improve if they want to get ahead or at least get in contention with the Guardians. Below them, the Minnesota Twins, they swept the Red Sox at Fenway for the first time in a long time.
Very long time.
But they still have some areas they need to improve on. Still middle of the pack. Seems like last couple seasons, they haven't really been as, dominant as we want them to be. And then below them, the Royals 22-33. Just not that good this year. Simple as that. I mean, they're 25th in runs scored. It's just
disappointing.
Disappointing is right, to say the least. And then in last, which I think very disappointing, the Detroit
Even
Tigers.
more. Yeah, even more.
I mean, from the year that they had last year and, riding high, praising them, one point on an 8-game losing skid, their last 10, they're 1-9. Things are bleak right now in Detroit. I mean, good thing the Pistons made it that far in the NBA playoffs because it was
helped
not
them a little
looking
bit,
good for Detroit. But yeah, they got to hit the panic button, just like the Mets and just like the Red Sox. Like something's got to click.
Yeah, and I was going to say, Skubal's going to be out. Obviously, we know that.
That's true.
But
yeah.
I mean, what the hell is going on there, right? I mean, come on. I know they have injuries, but they have a good team. And I cannot believe the White Sox in second place. That looks like it's like fake. It doesn't even look real based off of how bad they've been. They made the right moves in the offseason to help them, and they're building there. They're slowly doing it, but I mean, you'll take a 500 team after what they've done for the past how many years. And the Twins, I'm kind of shocked by just because they traded literally half their team last year at the deadline. I'm shocked they're even that competitive. But I mean, we're talking like if they're 5 games or 10 games over or 1 game under, but still, like, you know what I mean? Like they're still playing competitive. But yeah, I think the Guardians division will lose. I would love to see the White Sox. Imagine the White Sox winning that division. That would be incredible. I would love it. I
don't know how the city's going to react, but
they may take it down. Chicago might go down. Was it the South Side, right? Is that where the White Sox play? The South Side?
I believe so. Yeah. South Side, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, lastly, the AL West, first place, which it's really up for grabs for just mid right now. The Seattle Mariners at 28-29. They're bad. They're just not hitting as good as I thought they were going to be, especially against left-handed pitchers, last in batting average. And they're tied for the lowest batting average in the league. You would think from this team with, the lineup that they have a pretty solid lineup. They're just not hitting as good as I thought they were.
Yeah.
Going to be this year. And then right below them, the Sacramento Athletics, if you want to call them that, 27-29.
The A's. We say the A's on this show. Just the A's.
You know, the A's, they got 2 of the 10 best hitters in baseball this year with Kurtz and Langoliers.
Well, he's been on base like 50 times, right? 50 games straight or 48 games straight or
I
something
believe
like
so.
that.
Yeah, I
Crazy.
believe so.
That's with a walk or at least a walk, could be hits and stuff like that.
Well, I'm curious to see. I mean, can the Athletics pass the Mariners? Can we see a playoff game in Sacramento? I mean, that would be something for the eyes to see. And below them, the Texas Rangers, 25 and 29. Yeah, not a good road trip to Houston, Colorado against the Angels. Got swept by the Angels, not scoring. Their bullpen's been excellent, but yeah, it's just not been a good first half of the year for the Rangers. And who's even worse is their other Texas neighbors, the Houston Astros. Yeah, they have really dug a hole for themselves, missing Josh Hader. The bullpen is an MLB worst 5.60 ERA, diminished rotation. It's just bad. We've been saying it. The dynasty's over. It's just awful. Don't pay for a Houston Astro game if you're expecting their pitching to be great. And we don't even have to talk about the Angels. Mike Trout has been excellent. And other than that, their offense has struck up more than any team in the MLB. So, and their bullpen hasn't helped either. So the Angels just being the Angels like we're used to seeing.
Yeah, you laid it out perfectly. Mariners can definitely, they're obviously in first, so there's no need to, panic, but I think they'll be a better team. I think they need to trade like 1 or 2 of their starting pitchers and actually get someone that can hit. The A's crazy for that. Rangers are kind of hit or miss. Astros, the beginning of the end for them. I think beginning of the end was for them last year when they collapsed, and I think this is only adding to it. And then I think the Angels the Angels are just a mess, man. I'm trying to think. They're like the Chicago Bulls right now, of like in basketball, just like they're just there. They continue to lose. Like there's no end in sight for them. They're just not a good team. They're just not really a good team at all. But let's go to whatever else we have left here. How you doing? We'll do, and then we'll get to the pick'em situation. It's not going to be a pick'em this week, but it'll be a little bit of a situation we got to talk about there. But let's start with how you doing. So I'll start us off here. The only team I didn't talk about was the Jets, just because they haven't done anything recently. The only news I do want to say is they signed Young Hoku today from the Falcons, Giants. Of course, what comes right into my brain is last year when they're playing the Patriots on Monday Night Football. I don't know if you remember this, Corey. He was with the Giants at this point, and he got his foot literally stuck in the turf. And as he tried to kick the ball, his foot got stuck, and he didn't kick it. And he kind of forgot about the ball being there and missed it. But yeah, I have a chant for Koo. So when he makes a kick, hopefully Koo. I don't know if you remember that. I always do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, if he's on the team, I will unleash that chant at the games. We'll see. We'll see what exactly happens with Koo. But yeah, at least they're the Jets are trying to move it in the right direction. I don't believe 1 second that they are, but at least at least they're trying. At least they're trying to do something productive, because it can't be like it was last year. I mean, that was absolutely pathetic. The things that were going on last year. I mean, it was a mess. I'm trying to think of what else. Talk about the Knicks. Talk about the Mets. Mets are embarrassment. Joke. What else? St. John's is working on getting a roster together. We'll see what they can do. Biggie's off tonight, Marty. Biggie he had other engagements to attend to. But yeah, that's really it for my teams. And also, I didn't want to forget this one. Shout out to the Brookdale Jersey Blues. I know I mentioned you guys last week in one of the videos I made, but I do want to say good job in Tennessee. I was able to watch you guys play, not in person, but on TV. 3 games. They did go 1-2. The one game they did win was pretty sick. They were down. It was like a back and forth game, then came back and won on a walk-off. Second game because they lost the first one. I mean, Corey, these guys, I had to give them credit. I would have fell asleep. First game did not start until 9:45 at night. Didn't end till 1-something in the morning. Then had to wake up, quick turnaround. They had to play at 12 o'clock, and they won that game. And obviously the next day they did lose, but they were winning that one as well. So they were, very highly competitive. I just wanted to give them a shout out. It was a pleasure watching you guys. Good job. But yeah, that's all from me on how you doing. What do you have anything?
Only thing I want to say is about the Steelers. You guys probably already talked about with Aaron Rodgers.
Oh yeah. I was going to say you weren't here. So yeah, talk about him a little bit. If you happy he's back or whatever.
I don't know. I mean, younger, like 8-9-year-old me, is a little
jumping up and down, right?
Yeah, like this is it. And I called it too. I said he's going to come back from the nostalgia with Mike McCarthy, kind of a last dance, esque season. Do I think they're going to make it past the first round? Probably not. But you know what? Let's just end the season on a high note. Let's go for 11 wins. Let's try and do better than last season. Try and go out on a high note. Hopefully Rodgers has, an offensive line to protect him. Hopefully Broderick Jones behaves.
There you go.
Yeah, so that's about it. How do I feel about it? Like, I don't know. I think he was the best option available. I think you could maybe have thrown in Will Howard, but it wouldn't hurt to give him another year of development. But yeah, I mean, we got some, some moves during free agency, some good draft picks. So we'll see what happens this season with, first season without Mike Tomlin.
I mean, yeah, I was going to say it probably doesn't move you that much either way, like bad or good, like kind of in between. He should be able to score some points. You got Pittman and Metcalf there. Like that's two, really good receivers. We'll see. But yeah, I think also, the alternatives probably aren't guys you want to put in yet. So I think it's like, okay, you know what? We'll just run it back again. We'll probably do the same thing we did this year. And then we'll move on from there. Obviously, next year will be different. And next year's quarterback class really is the one that everyone's like,
oh, it is.
I mean, you bow down to it is what everyone's saying. So that's to keep an eye on. A lot of teams are going to be, getting involved. I wouldn't be shocked if like 8 quarterbacks are taken in the first round next year. That's a conversation for another day. But I think a lot of teams are going to be involved, and I think Pittsburgh will definitely be one of them, unless they think they got the guy in the room. I mean, they drafted Drew Aller, they have Will Howard there. I mean, unless they think they're one of them. Like Corey does not want to hear that word.
Like Drew Aller, I'm sorry, man. Like,
I mean,
like we said at the draft show at Patrizia's, I forget, it might have been you or Biggie, but somebody said, "Oh, the Steelers are not going to draft Drew Aller," and then 2 rounds later, there he is. I'm like, what are we doing? Like,
yeah, that was the EJ. EJ wrote a comment. EJ commented that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, he was like, yeah, no Drew Aller for the Steelers. I'm so happy or something. And then the day later, Drew Aller gets drafted by the Steelers. Maybe he should have been a little quiet with that. But yeah, I knew someone. Someone said that at some point. But yeah, let's move on to the last thing here. We said it when we signed on today. It would be more of a quick show just because the opportunity presented itself with the Knicks not playing tonight. So we're like, why not jump on for an hour and 15 minutes, talk a little bit, and then we'll move on to the next week. But no pick 'em this week. It is over for year 1, so me and Biggie's final standings are out. I don't know if you guys saw the Instagram and TikTok. I beat Biggie by 3 games. I do want to say I blew a huge lead, almost blew a huge lead, but I did come away with first place. 47-31 was my record, and Biggie's record was 44-34. So he was 3 games behind me. It's going to reset next week. Obviously, next Monday is going to be a big show because me and Biggie's, it's our year of us doing the show together. And now Corey is going to be a guy that will pick with us. Regardless if he's on the show that week or not, he will be giving us a pick, either texting it to us or saying it right here as he's doing right now. That will be starting next week, starting June. What is it? What's Monday? June 2nd, June 1st, something like that.
Yeah,
right?
Something like that.
Yeah, whatever it is. Monday, I think it is June 1st. Monday will be the beginning of the new standings, and we'll tally through the whole summer up until June, and we'll reset every June 1st from here on out. But yeah, Monday will be the next show. Thinking about doing a Knicks stream, maybe game 1. I don't know yet. We got to see how the schedule breaks out for that, because I know the Knicks are on the road for the first 2 games. I may hold off a little longer, depending. We got to see what happens. But yeah, that's pretty much it. The only set in stone thing is next Monday we will be doing a show at 7:30. Me and Biggie, and then maybe if we'll work things out, if we can get other people on, we'll see what happens. But yeah. Next Monday will be that. Corey, any final thoughts before we sign off to both TikTok and YouTube?
No, the only thing I'm going to say is I'm excited for the pick'em, and we'll see how that goes. And hopefully next time TikTok, when I'm live streaming on TikTok, you'll see my face. But for everyone that was on TikTok that went to YouTube, thank you. And as always, JD, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, man. I mean, I appreciate it. It was kind of a yeah, he is, Marty. Corey agrees. We talked about that. But yeah, Yeah, no, thanks, man. It was a little bit of a not short notice, but like I said before, kind of like a last minute thing. I'm like, oh, you just want to do a show Wednesday night just because we had the time to do it, and you're of course just like usual. You're like, yeah, I'll do it. I'm ready to go. But yeah, new pick'em next week. 1 year show of me and Biggie starting next week. Thank you on TikTok. I'm going to sign off for you guys here now, and then to YouTube, I will do that right now as well. But yeah, follow us. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Don't forget about Twitter. We like that as well. And that's going to do it for episode 124. Episode 124. See you guys.